Hey, this is Mike, Sssoⴅⴏ Vinyl. I'm going to do another video. This is going to be a Vinyl Hall of Fame, Sssoⴅⴏ Vinyl Hall of Fame video. This time, I'm going to do 5 albums from the hair metal or glam metal category of albums that I think are personally albums that I've discovered over the years. Some of them are old albums I've discovered, and some of them are newer albums that I discovered that I wasn't into back in the day, but when I started collecting vinyl again, I started finding new bands. It's really cool when you find new bands that are amazing and they are just like, they shoot to the top of any list that you have in your head of bands that you love or just albums that you love. So there's a few of those here where I discovered some stuff that I think is amazing now, and I just have listened to some of these albums way more than other albums in my collection since I bought them. So we're gonna start, and they're gonna start with actually one of those albums. Now, I knew about this album when it came out, and I remember seeing the video on Headbangers Ball, I believe. I thought the song was good, but I don't know. I don't think it got enough airplay on MTV like over and over again for me to jump out and buy it or look for it. So I ended up not buying it back in 1989 when it came out. When I started buying albums for my collection and I started buying a lot of hair metal stuff, I started wanting to buy not only the stuff that I, liked when I was younger, but I wanted to find some new stuff or some stuff that I missed, things that didn't hit me at the time. This album, Vɪဣṛ, No Respect, this is one of those albums that didn't hit me at the time, but totally is amazing now. This album is a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10, 100%. It's going into the Hall of Fame. There is absolutely no way that this album is not going into the Hall of Fame. It's that good. The riffs on here are excellent. The choruses, the hooks are so good. It's got between like a clean and a little bit of a dirty, sleazy sound. It's kind of in the middle, I think. It's not like super clean like some of the, like a Danger or a Babylon AD or something like that. But it's also not as gritty as like a Guns N' Roses or, an LA Guns. So it's kind of in between the guitar tone and everything. Songwriting is great. Davey Vane, the guy who is the lead singer of the album, he is known for being a record producer, and he actually produced another album that's really good, which I'm probably going to do a Thrash Metal Hall of Fame sometime. He produced Death Angel's Ultraviolence album. So if you're interested in hearing Davey producing ability, then yeah, you should look for that album to listen to. These guys had the look. They looked fantastic. The lead single that I heard was Beat the Bullet, and I remember liking that song. I liked the video. I probably didn't record the video, and I don't think that it kept getting played over and over and over again like a lot of the other stuff did. So they just didn't hit very big, but every song on here is fantastic. Secrets is great. Beat the Bullet, Who's Watching You, Thousands Degrees, Aces. Right away, the first 5 songs on this album are just bangers all the way down. Icy is a fantastic song. That's on side 2. So a lot of songs on here. I think 11 or 12 songs. Really, really great stuff. This is just fantastic. Hard rock, metal, hair metal, glam metal, whatever you want to call it. I think it's fine to call it hair metal. So we'll just go with that. It's a great album. It's going into the Hall of Fame just because of how good it is. I love it. It is a fantastic hair metal album. And it's also one that is kind of not as well known as some of the other stuff. So I think that's one of the reasons why it appeals to me right now, because I've listened to a lot of this stuff, a lot of the hair metal, like the, Cinderella Night songs, all the popular stuff, Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In, Motley Crue, all the big guys, the platinum selling bands. But the stuff that sticks with me sometimes, that stuff sticks with me too, but the stuff that sticks with me like this is stuff that I feel is as good to my mind, but just didn't get the recognition. This album deserves way, way more recognition than it got back in the day. I think people are definitely know about this album now, and it's definitely due for a reissue because copies of this album go for too much money right now.
She had some dyed in her eyes, full
All right, another album that's going into the Hall of Fame is, this one came out in 1989 as well. This album is interesting. It's an album that I bought it at the record store because there was a bunch of albums that got taken back by somebody who had a bunch of this artist. So there were several albums in there from this artist, and I bought a couple of them. And this one I was really surprised because I never really heard of this one from this artist. I had heard of the other ones, but I hadn't heard of this one. And this is Lizzie Borden, Master of Disguise. Now, this is definitely more of like a heavy metal, like I guess traditional heavy metal album, but I would definitely put this into glam metal territory. It doesn't cross over enough, I think, into the heavier stuff at the time, and it relies heavily on hooks and choruses, which I think is awesome. And this album is fantastic. It is my favorite Lizzie Borden album. And this is an original press. It's 57 minutes. It's almost an hour long, and it's all crammed onto one album. I think it still sounds good on my system. It doesn't sound terrible, but I love this album. It's kind of a concept album. I feel like it's one thing about the album is that it's very theatrical. So it really feels like a concept album, even if it's not. It just has like, like rock opera kind of written all over it. When you're listening to it, I think you can think of Meatloaf a little bit, just kind of that stuff. Streets would be a good comparison. The songs are so good on this album. Master of Disguise is fantastic. What are the songs on here? Let's see. Yeah, Master of Disguise is great. The first song is great. One False Move. Love is a Crime. I fucking love that song. Be One of Us, that's a really good one. Psychodrama is good. I like that song. And We Got the Power is really good too. All the way through, banger after banger after banger. It's a unique album. It's a theatrical album. It has, a bit of that bombast to it, kind of. But it's just fantastic songwriting. And it's a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 100% to me. And it's going into the Hall of Fame under hair/glam metal. All right, another album. This is one I actually had when I was a kid. I had seen the video for the song, and this was one that they played several times over and over again. And I went out and bought this right away. The hook on the main song on here that they released as a single was just phenomenal. It was like immediately it was a good song. You know, it didn't take like 2 or 3 listens to get used to. It was just like, that's a single, that's a hit. Same thing with this. This is Babylon AD. This is their self-titled album, first album. And Bango the Bells is a fantastic song. It's so good. I got this used at a record show probably within the first couple of years of collecting. And I only paid like 20, maybe $30 for it. And now this record goes for quite a bit more. I think obviously because it's more well known now, people who are collecting vinyl, and also it hasn't been repressed. So people who want it have been buying the heck out of it and not reselling it. So maybe at one point there was a lot of these for resale, but people are holding on to this one now. So really good album. This is the original press because there is, like I said, no repress. So this album is fantastic. Every song has a great hook. There's actually one song on here called The Kid Goes Wild, where Sam Kinison actually has a vocal part in there where he's screaming, you know, after getting caught by the cops or something like that. And he is not going to go down. He's like, I'm not going to go down, fucking cops, whatever. So pretty interesting there that they got Sam Kinison to do that for them. Every song on here is great. 100% all good songs, all bangers. The production on here is really smooth. It's really clean sounding, you know, so it's a little bit heavier than I would say Bon Jovi was at the time, but it's in that area, I think. I don't think that these guys went really hard. And maybe it's just because the choruses are really poppy on here. Like, I mean, they are sweet as candy. Super sweet. Really good stuff. Great album. It's going into the Hall of Fame. It's one of my albums that I wanted right away on vinyl. When I first started collecting again, I had this on cassette when I was a kid. So really fantastic album. I love Babylon AD and this self-titled album. All right, This album, these guys have a really good sense of humor with even their title of their band. This album, I think they just nailed it with the songwriting. Every song on here is a banger. I don't know. I feel like this is almost a parody album of the scene at the time. And they write some of the choruses in here. There's some like things that they do that make me feel like, are they serious? But at the time when I listened to this record, I felt like, oh, it's just natural. It just works. It's just a good songwriting. It's Killer Dwarfs, and this is Dirty Weapons. I think it Doesn't Matter, where they do a whoa, whoa, yeah in their chorus. I think that is hilarious. It sounds funny to me now. I'm like, are they making fun of like, super poppy choruses for the, hard rock bands or heavy metal bands that were coming out, the hair metal specifically bands that were coming out at that time? I kind of feel like they were. Retrospectively, I feel like this is almost a parody album. Now, what's cool about this band is the lyric wise, it's not all sex, drugs, and rock and roll. There's a lot of different stuff that they talk about on here. For that, this album, it goes just a little bit deeper than some of the other albums of the era, lyric wise, I think. But music wise, very poppy. Dirty Weapons has one of the best earworm choruses. I just love that chorus in that song. It really made me want to buy the album when I saw that video on MTV, and I did buy the album. I had this album when it was out on cassette. I loved it all the way through. I don't think I caught on to some of the humor, but listening to this today, not today specifically, but in now, as I'm older, I really hear the sense of humor that these guys had even more than I caught on to in the past. Anyway, excellent album. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 100%. Deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. This is an album I can pull out and listen to at any time. I love it that much. It's so good. It's going into the Hall of Fame. Great album. These guys are just great. All right, the last album is an album, I just realized, only 2 of the albums that are going into the Hall of Fame are albums that I listened to or had on cassette when I was younger. And this band in particular, if anybody watches my channel, if you kind of know me, I love female artists. I love female artists in all genres of music, especially kind of in the hair metal scene or the hard rock heavy metal scene in the, glam metal type sound, because I feel like there's not enough of them, especially in 1993. I don't think there were any. This might have been one of the only ones. And the hair metal was over in 93, but this band got a chance to record an album, and it got put out on vinyl in the UK. Very small number of copies were pressed. This album is incredibly hard to find, and it was really like a grail to me. And that is Phantom Blue, and this is Built to Perform. I love this album. All females in the band, a lot of feminist lyrics on here, really fun stuff. There's a lot of lyrics in here kind of about that, but then there's just lyrics about their, themselves, being sexual beings as well. So I love it. I just love that this band exists and that their lyrics exist the way that they do, and that this album is a banger. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 100%. I love this album. This is an original press. I highly doubt this album is ever going to be repressed. I don't think anybody even knows this album, but it is going into the Hall of Fame because it is amazing. I don't even think this album is on Spotify. The guitar player in this band ended up marrying the guitar player from Europe. And this is produced by Max Norman as well. The guitar player, Michelle Meldrum, she ended up marrying John from Europe. And unfortunately, she had some type of problem and she ended up passing away, which really sucks because she was a great guitar player. Like, if you listen to this album, these riffs and stuff, they're fantastic and really great guitar playing on here. And John Norum has guest solos on here. Oh, and Marty Friedman also does some guitar solos on here. It's heavy, it's melodic, it's got some really fun lyrics on it. There's some good feminist point of view stuff on here that you don't normally get in the scene, in the hair metal scene or the glam metal scene, or even just the hard rock scene, So I think that it's really, really fantastic. Everything is great. I even love this album cover. I would love to have this as a poster or something. It is just so good. I am so happy that I have this album. Certain albums just hit you and they really get inside your brain and in your heart even, you start having emotional feelings about it. But I have an emotional connection with this album when I'm listening to it. It just hits me and it feels so good while I'm listening to it. It's a great, great, great album, and they're going into the Sszáᴅᴏ42 Vinyl Hall of Fame. All right, so those are 5 albums that I really, really love from the glam metal, hair metal scene from 89 basically to 93. They're all going into the Hall of Fame. They're all albums that I own. I love, love, love these records. Pick them up if you can. Thank you. Bye. Have a good one.